As you all would have got to know from the flyer, today we are going to discuss border infrastructure of India, a reality check, China versus India. To discuss this issue, we have Major General AK Chaturvedi, our Senior Vice Chairman, and an expert on border infrastructure, climate change, water security, geopolitics, geostrategy, what have you. I think he can be relied upon to go to for any issues related to national security and national development. A very warm welcome to you, sir.
Thank you.
Uh, as you all know, today we are going to discuss about the border infrastructure. India is now matching the infrastructure along the line of actual control with China, says the BRO chief, Lieutenant General Chaudhary, way back in March 2023. He said that in the last 2 years, 205 projects amounting to rupees 6,200 crores were completed. Definitely a fantastic achievement. This year itself, he was stating that projects worth 16,000 crores will be attempted, which will include roads, railways, bridges, tunnels, etc. But what is the full picture? For how long has the Zazila tunnel been under construction? Padam Manali road connectivity is still a long way to go. Rama Sapar, those who are aware of Tawang area sector, know that it is still posing some construction issues. To give a balanced perspective in comparison to our adversaries, China and Pakistan, as I said, we have Major General Chaturvedi. Sir, please give your opening remarks as to what is the overall picture as far as border infrastructure is concerned, both from a Chinese India border issue and also from Pakistan India border issue. Over to you, sir.
Can we have that slide, please?
Yes, sir. Here it is, sir.
Yeah, yeah. As you can see, the major issue first I will not go because the land boundary is also 15,200. The entire boundary, land boundary is there, but which is along LAC, LOC, and AGPL, all three. And
Yeah.
the difference between Indian terrain and Chinese terrain, there is a lot of difference. The most of Chinese terrain is over plateau, which is well stabilized, and to that extent, as you can see, that as we will see subsequently, that QTR, that is railway line, which has been done, it has 42 ice tunnel, and in our case, it is well nigh impossible to even think of ice tunnel because it is very unstable mountains on our side. Then it is second the issue which is there, which is it's a jungle terrain. It has got a rarefied atmosphere and very unstable mountains. So whenever you are doing construction, they start the cracks start appearing. Now in
Okay.
this case, about 50 kilometers is considered border. Now let us come down that up to communication zone, that is about say 100 kilometers or maybe 50 kilometers, NHAI and IWT, railways, all those things construction is done. But thereafter it is border roads which has to take on. Now what happened in 1986-87, they created a border road, the Border Area Development Board, and in that the 117 districts are covered, and there are 6 parameters which, as you can see, it is about infrastructure, among others, education and other things which are covered in this. And basically because it is thought that development is defense. Now one decision which has been taken was that all roads hereafter would be constructed class 9 extended. Class 9 extended, the connotation of it is that you alignment you create, which is for a bigger specification, but you construct only class 9. Otherwise, every time new alignments will have to go. And every battalion will be connected with this. That is the second part which was taken into account into. Now, recently 2022, they created a village vibrant village development program. About 2,900, more than 2,900 villages have been covered in about 4 districts, four states and one UT, over 17 districts. Now,
Yes.
in this case, what we have started doing in recent times, a lot of technology leveraging. Now, in this case, for survey, it's satellite based. It's a geospatial spatial data is being used. Then, secondly, drones are being used. Sounding sonars are being used for if it is hydraulic areas to be covered and all those things. In this case, what is further is happening in construction technology, we are using 3D printing. We are also doing geocell, which is basically wherever there's a uneven say subsistence is taking place because of the under the slides and all those things, that can be taken care of. Then this pre-engineered buildings are being used, which will make the construction faster. Finally, we have got a pact with the America Baker, which was in 1920, say 2020, which was done. So a lot of technological support we are getting from there also. Now, next slide, please.
So
And
before we go to the next slide, sir, I would like you to briefly elaborate upon the 3D printing, how 3D printing is being used for the infrastructure improvement and development. Because I would like to highlight here to our audience that those who are interested in staff college entrance exam and all, this particular presentation is targeted to them, and this is something which you are sure to get some question or the other in your examination. Sir, over to you.
so 3D printing is a new technique wherein the entire the building with the way it will be constructed, the whole thing is there's a map is prepared on a given software, and with that it is rolled, and the building components automatically start coming out. Now the
Okay.
only thing in this case is that the scale has to be upscaled. So therefore, my recommendation would be that for this, the UT administration also can be taken on board. So whatever is required for, say, hospitality industry, for the government industry, for the say health infrastructure, so the civilians, and all those things, then the scales become large. And in the for the interim, we can graduate from, say, a prefab shelter to pre-engineered building. Pre-engineered building is a step lower than 3D. 3D is much faster. This pre-engineered is something like what you say, Delhi airport or Lucknow airport, which is coming. So what you say that these are the design, this is the material, and materials are cut, components are made, and they're just joined. And there is no nuts and bolts; they are just joined. They're like that. So that is these are the three different techniques which are used for habitat construction, essentially.
So it's going to be actually a multiple use, not even dual use infrastructure, which will come up based on
Yes,
what we are planning ahead in the future, sir. Okay, sir, we
yes.
go to the next one, sir.
Acha. Now let's come to China. Now this will say kind of a say flag the difference between our approach and their approach. As you can see, they started in 1951,
Well
and
before us.
57 they completed G219, the first cut. So that is complete. Say from Tar, that is Lhasa, to Xinjiang, Yechang, they reached, and initially this road was only a gravel road. By 2013, they completed it into a proper paved road, which is going across the Siachen. Now,
Okay.
third thing they did that, then thereafter they started upgrading it. They went northward as well as eastward. Vietnam border, almost 10,000 kilometers. Earlier it was at 2,300 kilometers. This is 10,300 kilometers from Xinjiang to BC is going. So this whole thing would be that, and so the number of offsets they have created to going to various say LAC portions of LAC. So this is a very important thing they did. In recent times, which has also been seen, is on southern bank they have started making a road toward uh, Shandong village, which is on our side. Also, this is what they have also done is that on northern side also some construction is seen, which to my mind is
Yeah.
that they are constructing the habitat basically. There is also a say east of say Finger Eight, that Conrad Fort is there. So in that area, there's a AD establishment is coming up. Now, as
So,
you can see
so
that
what you are saying, sir, that they have probably taken advantage of the no, that
no war,
zone which is
yes,
between
yeah,
finger three, finger four to finger eight, and have
yeah.
extended themselves beyond that.
Yeah, absolutely. So east of it, it is there's this AD setup if it comes up. So that means they also realize that since we have got advantage as far as air power is concerned, because we are taking off from much lower altitude as against them, as we will be seeing that all their airports are or and air bases are located in the high altitude area. So this AD would be very effective, and that is why they are going for a AD. Now, in Xinjiang area, they are creating between two expressways, a 22 kilometers tunnel also they are being created, that is G 0111 and 0216, which is near
Okay.
Urumqi. So the tunnel is coming up. Then as far as railway is concerned, this Qinghai Tibet, as you remember when we were young, it used to be said that 2 seasons it will take for build-up to take place. Now it is just
Yeah.
in 15 days, but from Golmukh to Lhasa, 36 hours. And 42, it's an engineering marvel. It's an engineering marvel. And the kind of thing which they have in ice tunnels, which they have 42 in numbers, which is a very great thing.
So our intelligence and surveillance has to be of an extraordinary nature if we
Extraordinary.
have checked their buildup, because otherwise we'll get surprised. And
NTRO satellites, they will have a major role
that
to play, even drone-based
that is the
any
advantage.
movement.
That is the
Yes,
advantage we are getting with these two railways.
yes. And second thing is this Lhasa Shigatse, which is complete. Now, what they are doing, they are also taking it to Dromo, which is base of Doklam. Imagine there's another railway line they are creating. Second
So
is they
that
are
means
also taking.
they are going beyond Yatung. You mean to say, sir?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
So that's another very major issue. And there's Nyangti, which is towards Arunachal Pradesh. So even the
Mhm.
second line they are taking there.
Okay.
There are reports that they are going to Nepal also.
Mhm.
So
Yes.
the railways would play a very major role. Then
And,
Ziakon village, about 600 in numbers, in about 8 to 10 years, which they have created. Now, as far as air
and
bases are concerned,
I would like to
yeah,
also highlight to the viewers that it is very difficult to pick up movement in the railways, because there will be normal rail traffic also going. So people can very easily slip in, troops at least, if not the equipment, the troops can be slipped in slowly to build up the forces in these areas. Especially in Yatung, we have to be very careful because it is next to the chicken neck, and which is the most vulnerable area as far as India is concerned.
yes.
Right?
So, then as far as their air bases are concerned, earlier, if you recall, there used to be just only a airstrip, but they
Yes.
have now started making hard points. Also, they have started making that blast pans. They have started making. In some cases, they have started extending the length of the runway to that. Uh, to get over that high altitude effect, and they have also shelters they are creating. So there are six in, say, all these Hotan, Gargonsa, which is near Nagari, then Kashgar, Hopping. Now in this Lindsay, which you see, it's a helipad base which is in the east. So they are not only doing in against say East Ladakh, but also against the our Arunachal
The
Pradesh also.
the
Yeah,
viewers can see this particular slide where what General Chaturvedi is referring to, the area of Bhutan, Hoping, and Lindsay, etc. You can clearly make out the highway, and you can also make out the airfields both on our side as well as on the enemy side.
yeah. Now, now let's come to Indian side. Now, though we started little late, but I think we are trying to catch up. In this, the most important thing is that year by year budget is going up. As you mentioned about DGBR's point that 6,000, now it is 16,000. So that means from 21-22 to 22-23, there has been a 43% rise in the budget. And
Absolutely.
also, there is a dedicated budget they have given for Northeast
No,
development,
that,
which is a huge 134,000 crores,
yep,
which is a
that's
huge budget, which has come up for the only for the Northeast. But yes, if you go into the details, it not only border infra, it is also it is in the Comzone area, whatever is being done, um,
yes.
railways development and roads development and all those things which are there.
But all that is linked, sir. Unless the con zone is
Yes,
improved, you can't really
yes,
reach the border area. So I
yes,
think they're
yes.
all linked into one.
No, what I'm saying is that it's a very good development they have done it 134,
Ab-
and similar thing is on our side also. There are a lot of
ab-
roads which are being given to us, which are part of say UT budget and all those things. Now, as far as roads are concerned, some of the one is what you mentioned about the Darcha Padam. Now, if
Yes,
you recall, there are basically two axes to Ladakh. One
absolutely.
is that is Pathankot, Mandi, Kulu, Manali, over the Atal Tunnel, Kelong.
Yeah,
Then you go to Coxar, Petsio, and then you reach climb Baralachala. Then you reach Sarachu, and then you cross number of passes, and then you reach Karu, and then Leh.
Karu and
Now,
Leh.
second is of course is traditional
This
route that is
via Sri-
Srinagar over Zojila and Kargil and
Kar-
then to Leh.
yeah,
Now, uh, this is a well developed. Now, what they have started thinking in terms of, and which will give a great strategic advantage to India, that is a place called Darcha. From Darcha,
yes.
there is a road which will come up through Padam Valley, climb over Shinkunla Pass, and go to a place called Nimmu,
Okay.
where the say that RT Brigade and all is there, if you recall.
Yeah,
Now,
that's right.
the problem area in this case was it was hard rock and it was sedimentary but hard rock. And sedimentary hard rock, the biggest problem is that you can't do blasting because you'll have to do stage blasting because layer by layer it is there and it is very difficult to cut. But anyway, good news is that road is almost through. By this
Oh,
year end, this Darcha Padam Nimmu road would be through.
very
Only
nice.
thing, Shinkulla Pass would be but Shinkulla Pass also has been sanctioned, which is over 5,000 meters. If you
Yeah.
notice, over 5,000 meters,
So
and
that
feasibility and
would
everything has been, and
so that
PDC is
would become higher
2020.
than the DSB road also, sir, in
Video
terms of
road, yes, yes, yes. It's a Shinkulla Pass is very high, so that's why they had to go down, and
yes.
suppose a 5 kilometers long tunnel would be made there, and
Okay.
the work has started. NIHDCL is doing, NHIDCL is doing it, and it will be
Okay.
completed by 2025. Now,
Okay.
that is the this road as far as this road is concerned, and this will give us option to go either towards LC or LAC, either side, because this Darcha Padam Nimu road is going to be a very important road in future for future operations.
Absolutely.
And second is we had DSDBO road, but as you know that it has got certain portions quite close to LAC, and it could be under the medium range of
Enemy.
say Chinese. So therefore, they have created another road which is called Sasoma Saserla, and which has got two prongs thereafter. Once it crosses Saserla, one go to Gopshan to Divio, and second is going towards Morgo. And again, there are two things I would mention here. Now, as far as the bridge is concerned, by the way, I mentioned earlier that all roads are going to be in class 9. And the good thing which has happened is that we have already, all the battalion headquarters have been connected by class 9 road. Some
Okay.
of the, even company locations have been connected by class 9 road oblique class 5 op track. So
Abstract.
therefore, it is connected by vehicle. Now it is no longer that mule based or some such thing. So at least 2 tonner can reach there very easily. So that's a. Secondly, all bridges which are being made, they are being made class 70. That is the important part of the whole thing. So
Uh,
if it is
I
class
would
70, so
Sir, I would like to just tell our viewers a very important point which you have raised is about all battalions and the some of the companies have been linked to by either a class 9 road or a class 5 off track road, which means just to explain to our viewers that in 1962 in Walong sector, when the Chinese had attacked us in Wolong, it used to take us 8 days to walk from the nearest road head to Wolong. Now that distance is now being covered in hours, not in 8 days. So that is the level of infrastructure which we have improved. Over to you, sir.
and this Sasoma Saserla is road is ready. Only thing in this case is tunnel at Saserla. Now,
Hmm.
I'll cover it here itself. The Saserla tunnel, what is happening is that feasibility has been completed and it is being submitted to MOD. And they have been able to find a rock profile such that tunnel can be, say, made. Now,
Hmm.
as soon as the sanction comes, then this tunnel would be made. Till that time, the road will remain fair weather. But what they have done, they simultaneously, after ahead of Saserla on Shyok, they have started making class 70 bridge, which yesterday when I was talking to the chief engineer, he said that probably by year end it would be ready. So that's
Okay.
a good part. So at least in good weather, you will be able to cross Saserla Sasoma, and Saserla Sasoma road is very important, as we can see that it is further. You Changla also you don't climb. Neither
Okay.
you climb Changla nor, and then you skirt. You further go towards the say west of it, and then you come up to Gapshan, and from Gapshan you can go to DBO also. So it's a very
Okay.
important road. Now, black topping is completed up to Brangsa, and रोड हनुतांग हैंडनब्रुक ये वाला ओवर जंगपाल ये एक
Mm-hmm.
बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रोड है एंड
Okay.
हम्बोटिंगला देयर इज अ पास सो
Okay.
हम्बोटिंगला पास का भी वही स्टेटस है जो सासिरला का है कि उसकी भी फीजिबिलिटी हो गई है एंड as soon as the MOD sanction comes, the construction of the tunnel commences, and about say 24 to 36 months will take for tunnel to come up. And this, the advantage of this particular road is, although the Zumpal road is, that it will connect to Turtuk.
Okay.
And so that one from that 192 brigade, you just go and Turtuk Tyakshi Chalunka. So that loop is complete.
So it
So
becomes
it
a
will
lateral connectivity.
lateral connectivity, and it's a very important road.
Okay.
Okay, to, now there's a road Chushumle Demchok over Umlingla, which is highest pass in the world. It's 19,300, which has been completed. Chushumle or Demchok, but
Okay.
now India is constructing even a road which is even higher than this. This is
Oh,
that this is over Migla Pass, which is 19,400, and it will
okay.
also it will reach as you can see that this is Likru over Migla. It will go to Fukche, which is just 2.5 kilometers from LAC.
Hmm.
So this road has commenced, and once it will take time. It will take time. I won't say that it will be completed. It is just construction has just commenced.
Okay.
Now, as far as other thing is concerned, in East, since you would be very keen to know that, there's a Flag
Hmm.
Hill to Dokala road is also under construction, which is going to be completed shortly. So that means
Okay.
so connectivity to Doklam would be there very
Yeah,
shortly.
this road was already existing, but it was in a very bad state. It was
That's it. So
gravel.
now it is being improved.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah, it was
as far
gravel,
as
and
yeah,
therefore traffic was very difficult here. But we were still going ahead with this use of this road, right, sir?
now second is this Indo-China border roads. Total, if you recall, there were 73 roads were to be constructed. Out of
Hmm.
that, in phase one, say about 25 have already been completed, and balance are being taken out in phase two. It's 27 roads, which border roads is making, and they are very confident that very shortly they will be able to complete these things. Now, in last 2 years, 1,500 kilometers road have been completed. That is the kind of a work, the speed at which border roads is working. 1,500 kilometers in just 2 years. This is even
So,
faster than what probably NHAI is doing, and in that say
so,
challenging
so,
terrain.
so what we are saying is that the military is matching Gadkari full throttle, sir.
Yes, yes, full throttle, and
And we must give credit to Harpal and now currently
Harpal and
Chaudhary.
now to Rajiv Chaudhary. Both have done a terrific job.
Okay.
Chaudhary is also retiring now shortly, but
Yeah,
let's hope someone better,
I'm
someone they
sure, sir.
identify.
I'm sure
Uh,
there'll be somebody equally worthy.
somebody, yeah. Now, as far as tunneling is concerned, tunneling is it's important because unless tunnels are made, all weather connectivity cannot be ensured. So, two tunnels that Saserla and Hambotingla I have already mentioned, and
Yeah,
Shinkulla I have also mentioned. Now, other two tunnels which are very important in, say, Eastern Ladakh and one in East.
yeah,
That is, let's do one by one. So, Sela. Sela, once it is completed in October 2023, it is almost ready. You
hmm,
have got a photograph, I sent it also to you.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
once it becomes operational, it will be 12.8 kilometers to tunnel. And it is that you will be able to cut down the timing from Guwahati to, say, Tawang by 1
Tawang.
hour, full 1 hour, and with the Dola Sadia bridge and all those things, 6 hours there cut and 1 more hour cut, so 7 hours. So imagine what you are saying is 8 days it used to take to travel
Along,
from Roadhead to in 62.
along.
Now it is in so that is a kind of a thing. So Suela is well on course and would be ready very shortly. In East also they are planning, but the construction has not commenced. That is across Brahmaputra they are making a tunnel
Okay,
because if bridges are in a very very say very violent war, in case if any of the bridge is damaged,
correct,
you
correct.
will have tunnel, and which uh, probably is going to be taken up shortly, or
I
maybe
that,
it may be in classified domain which we may not be aware of it, that some
may not
work
be
has
aware.
already commenced.
I
Now
mean,
let's come. Yeah.
that's something which is logical. That given the way people are targeting your objectives, especially in war, we got to have alternatives, and so by
And then
and
you look
uh,
at the Kerch Bridge.
yeah,
The Crimea's the whole thing, Russian occupation of Crimea is becoming untenable in case Kerch Bridge goes. So
yeah,
therefore, it is very important that tunnel is created. Now,
yeah,
as far as this side is concerned, two more tunnels are coming over. One is at Zedmore, that is Sunamar to Gagangir, and second is that's Zozila main tunnel, which
yeah,
will be say about 14.2 kilometers, which will be long, and both the constructions have already commenced.
yeah. About
To
forty
my
percent.
mind, by next year, Z mode would be ready because Z mode there had been in between some issues, so that's why the work stopped. But uh, the government is pushing very hard. Say
Mhm.
2025 is given the PDC, but probably it will be ready before that.
Actually, the
And
soil condition is the biggest challenge there, and the steepness of
yes,
this
yes. This is
is
what I mentioned.
it's
The
very steep.
Great Himalayan Range, the biggest
Yes,
problem with the Great Himalayan Range, it is still not stabilized because in Sea of Thesis, both the, say, Eurasian plate and Indian plate, they are just, say, colliding. And every year, mountains are rising. If mountains are rising, that means there is unstable mountains. So
for our
therefore, unless,
audience, for our
yeah.
audience, I just want to say that the terrain challenge is like this. When, as far as India is concerned, we have to climb a pole and then go to a plateau. As far as China is concerned, it is doing a running around on the plateau, and when it has to come down the pole, it will just come rolling down. So this is the kind of difference in the height ingredients of both the sides.
And not only that, Vishit, one more thing which we need to take. After once you cross Great Himalayan, then Zanskar range, then you come to Ladakh range, then you come to
Absolutely.
Karakoram. So valley climb, valley climb, valley climb, climb. So it's a tough thing, and that is why once we start talking about railways, we will
Yeah,
see that it is how difficult it is that
yeah,
is coming up. So now the second is this tunnel would be ready by 2025. So we will have to bear for 2 more years this kind of a problem area. But I
mhm,
think the work, as far as work is concerned, it is on course. It is not going slow, and it is not behind schedule at the moment. Now, as far as railways are concerned, there are two, say you can say in three portions, let's talk. First, let's talk of East, which is much easier because government
mhm.
has already taken a decision that all state capitals would be connected by railway, and the work has already started progressing. So Manipur, the goods train has already reached.
Yeah,
Nagaland, it will be reaching shortly. Mizoram, and all these 8 states, the northeastern states, including Sikkim and Tripura, they are all being connected by road in east. So that is one portion, which I think in by 2024 we will have that railway thing in east functional.
correct.
Now, second is that we started about the 90s this Jammu Udhampur railway line, which got
Mm.
extended Jammu Udhampur Srinagar. It became Srinagar Baramulla, and now the survey has started coming Baramulla Kupwara also. Now,
Kupwara
in
also.
this case, the portion from Jammu to Katra, it is complete. The train is running. Now, as far as Baramulla to Banihal, again it is complete. In fact, Baramulla Kazigand, because tunnel is ready, they have still not done that up to Banihal. So that 110 kilometers in between, it had those some of the major. It has got 37 bridges and 35 tunnels. Now and bridges, water bridge, highest bridge in the world over Chenab River, which
Yeah,
is more than 300 meters high. So that
correct.
bridge is complete. Last year, 15th August, it got completed. Now, second, the bridge was again difficult where there's not enough working space was available. Anji Khat. Now that bridge is also ready. Now tunnels are getting one by one ready. Once tunnel get ready, it is though they are saying that December they'll complete, but most probably it will be completed by February 2024. If this portion gets completed, then imagine the strategic advantage which India will have from Delhi to Baramulla train going,
Yeah,
because they have
absolutely.
already started that today. I just now I read somewhere that the Vande Bharat train, that centrally heated Vande Bharat train, they have already started doing the trials, which will be
Okay.
used on this trip. So that is the kind of work which is going on as far
Now
as
this message must go across our borders for people who say that Kashmir is neglected. Kashmir today is one of the most highly connected, and and,
highly.
and I think it's an happening place now. A lot of countries are now investing in Kashmir, sir.
In fact, the one before railway, if you see, 19 tunnels are being made And out of that, in JNK alone, out of that, say about 11 in JNK portion, 8 in connecting to Ladakh. So that is sadhana and all are into the line. So in days to come, Kansalvan and all those things will be well connected. All say not even fair weather connectivity, it will be full connectivity which will have. Okay.
I mean, maybe 100 years later, we might find Kupwara and down to NJN 9842 and then connecting to Leh also. Who knows, sir? Siachen
Who
sector.
knows? Who knows? No, but
So definitely, we
that
have a
Atal
Delphi
tunnel,
in,
Atal tunnel when it was being constructed, we did not have tunneling technology. So we got that Austrian technology and all. And frankly speaking, Dushan, let me tell you this Atal tunnel which has been made, they
yes, sir.
they diverted a complete river, and that is
Oh,
how it has become so good. So
but
it's
I'm
a
tempted to
engineering.
ask you, sir. But I'm
Hmm.
tempted to ask you a question based on your expertise, which I told right in the beginning. We have done all these manipulations of the nature. Do you think it will have an impact on the climate, sir? Climate change?
It will. It will. And that is why this is that four dham railway, Char Dham railway project is causing
Yes.
in Chamoli and Pauri, Uttar Kashi, the cracks have started appearing. So because
Okay.
Himalayas, you can't take chance unless you start doing soil stabilization simultaneously, creating reservoir of water. You know, say we are digressing, but yesterday when you saw
No,
that.
I wanted to just highlight this issue, sir, to say that it will be coming at a cost and we need to do something about it. So we can go ahead, sir, after
Now, second railway line is Bilaspur, Leh, which will be from, say, it will be going to Bhanupalli onwards, and it will be crossing the entire number of passes, Baralachala, Taglangla, and all those passes. And it will, highest point, it will reach about over 5,000 meters, which is
that. Okay.
higher than QTR. Once
Mm-hmm.
this is ready, so
Mm-hmm.
feasibility is completed. They have started working, and once this railway line gets ready, from Delhi to Leh, which takes about say 700 kilometers, which takes about say 40 hours now, it will be
Mm-hmm.
less than 20 hours. That is a kind of a advantage which will accrue. But since the work has just commenced and
It'll take
land
time.
acquisition is still happening,
It'll take time.
it will take long time. To my mind,
Yes.
anything before 2030 or beyond, I think
Maybe
will be a
more, sir.
very optimistic, very optimistic.
Maybe
Okay.
more, sir. Maybe more.
Maybe more, maybe more. I agree with you. I agree with you that it is, but this is something which we have to aim for. Okay, next, can you change the slide, please? Okay, now
Yeah.
as far as air is concerned, India is going for 4 airports. Leh Airport is being upgraded because the runway length is being increased in other facilities so that wide bodies aircraft can be accommodated there. In addition to
Okay.
that, Kargil, a new alignment is being thought of because the current alignment, firstly, it is under fire, under say observation
Observe.
and fire from across the LC. But so they're finding another. One is in Zanskar and fourth is in Chumathang. Four airfields are coming up, which will be able to accommodate the wide bodies. So that means, say, aircrafts like uh,
Yeah, the bigger
uh,
aircraft.
17
Yeah,
and
bigger.
C-130H and even fighter aircraft tomorrow
Yeah.
can be very
Yeah.
easily used. Then the
Correct.
37 helipads. Good news is that 37 helipads have been completed, and these helipads are not normally uh, say Me-17 types. These are Chinooks and all those things they can take up. So
Yeah, the
that is,
bigger ones.
and they are completed. So now our logistic support system and even our requirement of say attack haptors and all those things, now these are already there. Now, one more thing which is Fukche and Chushul. These are two old airstrips not being maintained, but they can be used in case of emergency because Fukche is very close to LAC and Chushul is also, say, Moldo is just in front of it. So, therefore, they can be used only in emergency. Good thing is about Neoma Air Base. Now, Neoma Air Base work started sometime in 2010, and it's a very, very innovative. Let me, what you said about engineering portion. You know, that Neoma, in case if you see, it is desert, high altitude desert. So
Mhm.
what was used was something called RBI 81. There's a material emulsifier. You mixed it with the sand, watered it, and rolled it with a say roller, and it became hard enough to say for a touchdown of AN-32. And
Okay.
frankly speaking, I had the privilege to touch down there. So then
Okay.
it was decided that we should make a air base. Now, good news is 2 days back there was there, though it is say about say 7,000 feet runway is being built there. And what is more important there is that it is for that Heron 2 has been located already there. So Heron 2, as you know, that is also for SPR as well as for attack mode also it can be used. It
Yeah.
can carry the weapon systems also. It
Yeah.
has hard points. So it has
Basically,
already started work. But
basically, it's
other
an UAV.
yeah uh,
UAV.
yeah UAV. So like other facilities which are supposed to be there in the air base in Neoma, they all are coming up, and very shortly it will be ready. Now, as far as bridges are concerned, it's a very great progress. There are two things which have happened. One, GRSE has come out with a modular bridge. So any
Uh-huh.
length you can say modular system. You just measure the length, and the bridge can
And
be.
just
And there are class 70 bridges, and which
okay.
quickly can be say laid down. And permanent bridges are also being constructed. In 2021 itself, about 87 permanent bridges were constructed. And
Uh-huh.
this year, this figure has already reached 22. 103 bridges have been completed. So those are the kind of things which have been done. Is a terrific job. Now, China, if you recall, they have in Pegongso, near east of Konrak Fort, they have created, which is well into their area, they have created a bridge, temporary bridge to cross over from north to south.
Yeah.
And a permanent bridge is coming. Now, we have not gone thought of creating our own bridge there, but we have got adequate, say, boat-based assets. There are about
Actually,
17 number. Yeah.
there is a problem as far as we are concerned, sir. Because if you have to go from south to north to south, we are going actually behind the current deployment of the enemy, which is because remember Kailash
Yeah.
ranges
Yes.
we vacated it. If the Kailash ranges were there, then we could have thought of a north-south connectivity. So that is
Ah.
possibly one of the reasons why we are not really interested in making one, unless we have to go in for an offensive.
And that is a 3D printing. Now, these are the kind of overview I thought that I'll share. And this
Sir,
is
so by and large, sir, we have actually covered the entire landscape of. Just I'll run through your photographs so that people are aware of it. This is the line which we were talking about, the road
yes.
which
If you notice, this is from Darcha. It is going to Upshi, Upshi to Karu, Karu to Leh. This
correct.
train, and which is a very important. And the second the picture also, which gives a details of all those things, which are the passes. And one of the subsequent picture shows
Yeah,
those passes also.
yeah.
Yeah.
We'll come to that. Sir. Like
Now
this is
this
the
is
line, the
Udhampur,
Railway line.
Baramulla railway line. Yeah.
Baramulla railway line, which we spoke about, just to tell the audience, and it will be there on the YouTube, so you can pause it and see it as to whatever we spoke about. That's there in the picture also.
Now, if
This
you
is this
notice, this is DSDBO road, that is Darbuk Shiok,
this this
and
is the
it is
this is the road.
Shiok bridge is
This
ready.
yeah, this is the
And if
road.
you notice,
Which
it's very close to
so, I would like to
so-
just tell the viewers that this is the road which was the cause of Galvan.
uh,
And the bridge which came up, what you are referring to, became the
on Shiok River.
became the sore eye for the Chinese.
So that is why they have gone for the Sasoma Sasirlai, which is towards the west
Much
of it.
deeper. Yeah.
Okay.
Then
Now this
the
Manali highway, if you notice all those passes which are there, La Chungla, Taglangla, Baralachala, all three passes. And Taglangla is highest, actually 5,034 meters, so which will be
These are
even higher than
challenges.
India. And
These are
that is
challenges,
the railway line,
and these are
railway
challenges.
station.
Yeah, these are
30 railway
challenges.
stations are coming up on this.
Okay, sir.
30 railway stations are coming up on this Bilaspur Leh, and which is
So,
one of them
so,
is highest.
so, audience, you can imagine what India is trying to attempt is really Herculean, and we must appreciate our engineers and the people who are going ahead, including the railways, etc.
Yes.
This is the
This is
traditional route.
Srinagar Leh, which is a standard. So
Yeah.
it's a Jodhila, you can see.
This I have put it across
Yeah.
just to tell you all that Jung has whatever Jung has spoken. This is a kind
This
of
is a
a
bridge.
overview. Overview है ये.
Shiok River.
ये
This is a bridge which is this part of Darbuk Shiok.
yeah, which actually led to the Galvan incident,
Galvan.
and this of course is the longest bridge
The
over Uj.
very longest 1 kilometer bridge which has been constructed
Those,
over Uch River, because
those who are, yeah,
Uch is
those who
in
are,
Jammu side. Hmm?
yeah, those who are not aware of this area, this is just ahead of the Lakhanpur uh, area,
Yes.
which when you cross from Punjab to JNK. So it's about, I think, 30-40 kilometers away from there. And this river was always a vagabond river. नहीं ये इधर उधर फैलती थी. So इसको bridge करना was a challenge, you know. And the fact that we have
And
bridged it, yeah, go
And
ahead.
very interesting thing I'll tell you. As a part of Indus Water Treaty, say just there are three rivers, that is Uch, Deg, and Tarna. So out of that,
Correct.
50,000 cusecs of water we are supposed to give to Pakistan, but we had, as you said, nothing was there to stop these waters. So the water was going into Pakistan. Pakistan
Yeah,
was diverting them into a TCB, and we were buying
correct.
tanks to cross them. So that
Cross
is
them.
the unfortunate. So now post Uri, Government of India took a very consensus decision, which multi-purpose program has come up, and which is
Correct.
on en route, and we will be able to stop this water. And this
Yeah.
bridge is also as a
In
part
any,
of that.
in any case, it is part of the agreement, and we are actually not utilizing the full quota of our
Yes,
water.
yes, yes.
This is the Demchok passing over highest.
There's Umlingla.
Same. This
Umlingla.
is the graph, which is currently the
Which
highest.
is 19,300 feet,
Correct.
which is highest in the world. Now,
Yeah.
I think salute to border roads for having
Correct.
created. I mean,
Correct.
19,000 पे तो लोग सांस नहीं ले पाएंगे, यहाँ पे इन्होंने ब्रिज बना दिया. This
ये
is
भी
that
देखिए झोला सदिया bridge, which was
Dhola Sadia
inaugurated
Bridge, which is Dhola in Assam and
by
Sadia in
Arunachal.
Arunachal. It connects, and it
Let
is
me tell you.
19.
Let
It is
me
longest bridge, nine kilometers long bridge. It is there.
let me share my personal experience. When I
Okay,
was posted as second lieutenant in Wolong, uh, the area which I spoke about, it used to take us 8 days, 9 days, etc. So we used to cross Sadia by steamer, this particular
okay.
area, and after
Lohit River,
yeah, after crossing this, we used to cross three streams and then cross a stream called Digadu, which means in Mishmi
Digaru, हाँ,
अरुणाचल प्रदेश में उसका मतलब होता है मैड रिवर और पागल. That
हाँ,
used to be only crossed by an elephant. So everybody
elephant,
had to get down from the vehicle, get onto elephant back, catch your bags and jholas and everything, including your weapons, and cross over the river. And sometimes the elephant used to sit down in the middle of the river if the current was very fast. And then only God could save you, otherwise, because you would come back to Sadia. If you slipped
Now,
off from there.
now imagine we will be able to say 5,000, 5 hours in this, and
Correct.
once Sela tunnel becomes operational, which is this is the Sela tunnel.
Yeah,
So
this is
this is Jozila. This is Jozila.
Zozila.
So
This is Zozila tunnel.
Jozila, which has been cut. That cut has been made now. The repair work will commence.
Correct, sir.
So Sela, once it is ready, this is Sela. You look at
This
that; it's almost ready.
correct, sir.
On one side, I'm showing you the entrance
This,
of it, and
this
second side is light and all has been put already.
by a light vehicle, you can reach Tawang now in a jiffy. Once this
Yes,
tunnel.
1 hour you can save 1 hour.
Yeah,
Now
yeah,
this is what I was talking of. If you see, all the passes which are mentioned here, if you can, if you notice, it is there. So all these, they are numbered passes. I have given this, and in this case, this is this Darcha Padam Nimu road also is given there. So this is a
This is
very important aspect. Shinkulla Pass is also is mentioned here.
yeah.
So
The dotted
this is very important.
the dotted portion is the challenge, Padam to Darsha, which the general is talking about in the south of the map, if you can see. Okay, and this is under construction
Now
in
this is
Puri.
our Subansiri bridge has come up. This is
It is in the northeast, Arunachal Pradesh mein hai. And this is also a very important axis, and it has a history of past conflict out here.
because there these flash floods are quite common, and then unless you have bridges on this, it is very difficult to go over it.
Sir, I had a lot of questions, but I am not going to ask those questions because it was a very exhaustive presentation. I think by asking those questions, they were more related to strategy. So, but now the audience have also pitched in with so many questions that it will take us a lot of time. So we will spend the time answering the audience questions and doing away with my questions. So let me start
We
from
can
the
always discuss over a cup of tea.
yeah. No, they are important, sir. But we will. Uh, I mean, there are some, of course, which are complement. It's good to see India is doing mirror to mirror infrastructure development, not just deployment. Very true, Rahul, and thanks for you to join us in our. Okay, and this was something in between. Your communication had gone little bad, so there was a comment on that, but now it's okay. Samrat has asked a question. Patliputra, Samrat Ashok Patliputra, Bihar. Could the Eastern Dedicated Freight Corridor establishment connecting Delhi with eastern states significantly boost India's military logistics, particularly along the eastern borders with China? Yes, sir. This is a good question. I think you should take it
Uh,
on, sir.
I, as we discussed, these are stages. What, and that is why I tried to explain it. That first 50 kilometers from the line of demarcation is border areas. Then is zone, where some communication centers are also come up. So the up to communication centers, what are the population centers, you create good network of road to NHAI, say expressways, and even railway line which goes there, and the best of it. So those population center, which is about say between 50 and 100 kilometers from the border, which is well covered. Now, after that is the problem areas. So, to that extent, that Samrat Ashok's question is very valid. That reaching up to that point from where you can, that border areas, that remote portion starts, that itself is a very major issue. So, we will have to think in terms of creating some kind of a, which is now Narangi and all, Guwahati and all, which is there, they can be further up. And this
So
kind of a thing,
basically,
that logistic areas can be further up.
yeah.
So
Basically,
that is
these are the communication zone communication, but we have to go axial. To go
yes.
to borders, we have to go axial roads have to be created. Like Sela is an axial road. So unless
Hmm.
that gets completed, shortened in time, our mobilization. But to even reach Sela and Tawang, these roads also have to be simultaneously developed so that our movement becomes faster and
No,
much more
see,
capacity.
look at like this. Does DSDBO when it's created, the offsets have gone up to Galvan and all. So you
Yeah.
could build up into that area and all those things because that
And
road is there.
and and also, sir, these roads serve the purpose of strategic weapon systems to move.
Yes,
Because
yes.
see, earlier we used to have a problem whether our missiles or rockets would reach that particular
Uh,
depth.
they have got
So,
a higher specification of the vehicles and all, eight
so,
wheel driven and all those things. So eight,
so
16 wheel driven, 24 wheel driven. So you
correct.
need road specification of class 70 and all. So
We
this Eastern
we
freight
have
corridor
to.
would be very useful.
They will all add up to that, sir. Now, surge in case of war like Kargil with China, our air force and rocket force can easily neutralize air bases and entry points from China, like highways and railways. How far is correct or difficult? You want to answer, sir, or rather I can answer it, sir?
No, it's quite good. Our biggest advantage is that we can take off from line Ambala to Gorakhpur
Yeah.
to Kalaikunda from this line, and which is totally MSL. So therefore, with full ordnance, our aircrafts and can take off, and with a mid-air refueling capability, you can reach anywhere. And
See,
with
uh,
this, with these
uh,
Heron and all those things, 36
uh,
hours of endurance, you can reach anywhere. So therefore, we can definitely take on. Whereas China does not have that kind of advantage. All if you need is Hotan, Gargonza, and all those things. They are in high altitude, so their limitation is that they cannot take the full ordnance load. So therefore,
payload.
and that is why they are trying to create more number of
In fact, it is their payload gets reduced by one fourth or almost
one
one
floor.
fourth.
Yes, yes,
So that is one. But you see, they have an advantage in the sense that we have numerically less number of Brahmos or S400. We are still importing S400. So our capacity, logistic stamina has to build up, and that is why we were talking about Atmanirbhar Bharat and
sustainability. Sustainability,
sustainability.
and that is our Atmanirbharta. That the
Yeah,
Atmanirbhar Bharat is important, that we need to indigenize production because 65, 71, all these 62 also,
correct,
we have Enfield rifles, and the
correct,
7.47, 7.46 only came at that time.
correct,
So even that time, with this kind of, I think, Atmanirbharta ones, because then only your base will become strong. Look
correct,
at Russia. Russia is sustaining NATO and America put together only because
correct,
their military industrial complex is very well developed. So we need to develop our military industrial complex quite substantially to
correct.
be able to take on. Otherwise, um, we, as far as aircraft is concerned, we have been able to make some progress, but without engine, nothing much can be done. We don't have capability. Our Kaveri is only 40. It can generate kilonewton. So therefore, it is important that that G414, which is coming up, it will take 2 to 3 years for it to be operationalized. Safran also is saying that we will give full technology and all those things. But unless that aero engine capability comes, we are stuck.
Yeah, that's right. Sir, next question we'll move on, sir. Vijay Kumar says General Shokeen sir said Indo-Myanmar border defenses are to stop infiltration. In case of war, how do we prepare to stop Chinese using these weak link, and what do we do to make these border defense ready? Uh, I would like to answer him quickly, sir.
Okay.
As far as Myanmar border is concerned, look, if the Chinese have to attack us along the Myanmar border, the nearest which is there is the Arunachal Pradesh area, right? In that area, the we do have adequate communication. The problem is along the major Myanmar border, but there, if the Chinese have to cut across the entire Myanmar country and then come to attack us, I don't think they will attempt such a
Then
thing. It will be foolhardy to do something of that nature.
one,
Even
one,
the
one, one thing
in
which he can do, this Kunming area, from
there
there
is
he
one.
can take off with a
Yeah.
mid-air refueling. He can be
The only
operative
thing
in.
I was coming to that, the only thing which they can do is the air strikes which it can do using the airfields in the Myanmar. But even that, it would be very long flight for him, and we can easily detect him en route and get him off. As far as the missiles are concerned, he can hit us from anywhere. He doesn't have to really come to Myanmar to hit us. He has that range
And
of.
he has created the Delinka base, so which he can move up and down and sideways.
Correct.
And so, one thing which I would like to mention here, which you mentioned about the communication,
Sure.
India is going for Li-Fi, which is line of communication, which is not radio waves based. It is wireless based, and that
Hmm.
communication, one-to-one communication, which we have been able to create, and which is a very useful thing.
Yeah, so Jan Shukeen was right that it is mostly for infiltration related deployment which is there along the Myanmar border, and to that extent there are shortcomings even there. We have a lot of areas which are very remote and very difficult to connect, and of late we have started fencing and we have started improving the infrastructure, but it will take a lot of time
But
as far as
everyone
Myanmar.
think, see, we can't allow Manipurs to happen. If
Yeah,
your own people are dissatisfied, then you are creating open routes
correct.
for, because the Chins have got a ethnic affinity with the cookies. So we will
Yeah,
have to create a environment
we'll,
where they are
correct.
committed to India.
We'll move to the next question, sir. In case of war with China, how do we stop Chinese attacks and protect our infrastructure along borders on both fronts? Are our Indian armed forces prepared for these eventualities?
China, how do we stop Chinese
Okay,
attacks and protect our
so
infrastructure along borders?
okay, okay.
No,
So
it will have to be.
what he's basically talking about is that we used to have, that was one of the questions which I had with me, that we had a policy of rear posture initially, especially in the 62 and following that. Even after 62, our main defenses, for example, I'll give you Walong sector, our main defense is about 100 kilometers, sorry, 100 kilometers inside, and rest of the area was called as forward zone. No development of infrastructure was taking place in the fear that these infrastructure will be utilized by the enemy once it comes into. So basically lines of communication वगैरह की बात कर रहे हैं ये. Look, I think we will, when we create infrastructure, we have to create security, and therefore it is not that we will let these border infrastructure go begging without any security arrangements. That commitment will have to be undertaken, and
AD, a very strong AD, say
absolutely AD,
S400 types.
absolutely, absolutely
Some
ADs.
I saw some literature that DRDO has already come out with the indigenized S400. The trials
Let's
in progress.
let's say that India is becoming a little more innovative and expert on developing weapons and equipment. If we get this kind of a capability, it will be very much in our favor, sir. So Vijay, don't worry, we will have to cater for their protection, both in terms of AD, air, that is air defense, as well as ground security. Maybe it will not be the armed forces everywhere protecting. There would be other forces which are there in the line, like for
Air
example
Force,
Assam Rifle has been
some
dedicated to do
rifles.
this kind of a line of communication protection. So their secondary task is that moment balloon goes up, these guys are going to go and occupy these areas. So we'll not go much into detail about this.
VA and VPs would be protected.
Yeah. So the next question is, sirs, to offset our air force advantage, China has more than 100 bombers and long range missiles. How do we stop them? Where border infrastructure made for deterrence or for war scenario, or both, or
We have
MOA?
already, I think, spoken on
Yeah,
this.
this question was answered here. They do have the number superiority, but imagine their numbers have to be reduced to one fourth. So it will be 25 aircrafts making XYZ number of strikes. And second thing which I want to tell you as far as Air Force is concerned, as far as the state of the art aircrafts are concerned, we match them or maybe we are better than them.
Better,
Yeah, they
better.
have the number of the other aircraft, which are third generation aircraft, old vintage aircraft. But the new ones, the four, even they don't have the fifth generation as of now. It's 4.5 generation, which both
They
sides
have
have.
got the engine of Sukhoi 227, which
Correct.
is third generation.
So, and we
For
have
their fifth
rebranded.
generation aircraft, J10 and all those things, they have got an engine which is of Sukhoi 27, which is
We have,
much
re-
less than Sukhoi
we have
30.
recently we have recently rebranded MiG-29. They look fabulous. Their capabilities have been increased manifold. The quality wise edge we still have. So that is something which you should be assured of. We should be able to take care of. That's what the Air Force has assured us. I'm sure they will bear us. Of course, some advantages, disadvantages both sides will have. Mr. Pant has said fear of ecological damage, as in the case of Joshimath, can be exploited by inimical forces to stall the planned development, NGO agitation against roads, post Barahuti incursions is relevant. So this is a comment, sir, which I also fully agree, and we have to be prepared
I
for.
fully agree. We will
Yeah, we
have
have.
to, as it is, these NGO movement is a highly sponsored movement from, God alone knows from where all it is being sponsored.
Correct,
So we
correct,
will have to work, and in any case, for our own good, we will have
correct.
to take environmental issues into account, and we'll have to work in such a way. And there are systems and procedures. That's a separate discussion. We can have a separate discussion one of these days. I have got my own understanding of the whole thing. We can take
Yeah.
care of these things.
we will have a separate discussion on this issue, that how to
Yes.
balance infrastructure development with climate change and other related challenges which we have. That was a question with me, but since we took a long time for the presentation, is our infrastructure capable to control any invasion by China on the chicken neck area? Basically, he's talking of the Siliguri corridor, sir, where the Chinese
I think you know that area better than I do.
Okay, okay. I can answer you, Kumar. As far as the Yatung Valley is concerned, it juts into India, and where at the southernmost point, it is very narrow, and the corridor in the corridor we have the national highway going through, we have the railway line going through. For that, we have made alternatives on the south bank of Brahmaputra also now. So we have now railway line and the road going on both sides. So that is taking care of the connectivity. So if our connectivity get disrupted by any other means, even aerial non-contact means also, we would be able to take care of. As far as his coming into this area is concerned, don't worry. If he gets into a narrow valley like Yatung, we know how to cut him off and destroy him piecemeal. We'll have the battle here, but we will be able to do
We are on
justice.
dominating heights there. We are on dominating heights in Chumbi Valley
And
and all those things. Yes,
and we are sitting at the rear, and let me tell you, Bhutan is not friendly. It may get it is a small country, but it's not friendly to China. So therefore, Bhutan has more closeness with us than with China, so we can actually pincer him from two directions, not from one direction, one from Bhutan side and from our side. So we have the situation under fairly good control. So I think that should be more than enough for you to understand. We have another question. Ask Major General AK, sir, how do you gather information? Can you point us to some reliable source like a website for history and geography? He's asking your trade secrets, sir.
you will have to
It-
approach me directly.
no,
Jobless
it's very
engineers, you can approach me directly, and
it's very it's very simple. It's also open source, but we also have friends, etc., who with whom we keep having
you
discussions,
do discussion. So you do
and
discussion,
based
and
and based on sometimes we visit these areas, कभी हम लोग इधर उधर घूमने चले जाते हैं, so उसमें हमको दिखता है, ऑन ग्राउंड भी दिखता है, आप जाएंगे आपको भी दिखेगा कि कहाँ पर काम हो रहा है, कहाँ पे काम नहीं हो रहा है. सो इस तरह की इंफॉर्मेशन मिल जाती है, और ओपन सोर्स में भी है, ऐसी कोई वो बात नहीं, थोड़ा रिसर्च करनी पड़ती है मेरे ख्याल से. दैट शुड बी मोर देन एनफ. डोंट आस्क द ट्रेड सीक्रेट ऑफ जनरल चतुर्वेदी.
don't make me jobless.
Sorry, that was on the lighter side. I know you've kept your name also like that. I don't want to take that name. The Kachi Dargah Bridge in Bihar spans a length of 10 kilometers. Okay, he's given some correction for our longest bridge, which was Sadia Dola, which you said is 9.3 kilometers. So for that, he's given a correction saying that the Kachi Dargah Bridge is about 10 kilometers. We can
I
fact check.
really don't know.
We
We
can
can
fact
we'll we'll come back to you.
and thanks, Samrat, if it is correct. Thanks a lot for the correction which you've given to us. We have Pankaj Sinha, sir. For a long time, he has come, joined us. Sir, had the privilege of serving in the area of SSN, Chongtash, DBO, Track Junction, Gopshan, etc. in the year 85 to 87 with Ladakh Scouts as a major. We will seek your comments, sir. Do share if there are any issues which we may have gone wrong. We'll be more than happy to correct and give it to our audience.
But let me tell you, I was there till about say 2011. This Gapshan track, which we had to make from on DSDBO road, was made. Morgo to Gapshan was made by me. I mean, I as a command chief engineer got it done. One 13 engineer regiment did it.
You got a
We cut with the dozer and all those things. But
you got
then
a compliment.
it takes long time.
You
Takes
got a
long time.
compliment, sir, from Amarjeet. Great Chaturvedi, sir. Dushyant, best wishes. Okay. Pankaj has given more comments. We used to walk for 3 days, walking only during fair weather, approx 3 to 4 months in a year, to reach Chongtas from
From Sasuma.
Sasoma, DBO. It used to take 5 days walk. So, sir, you can say this is. I mean, our audience should take note of these facts, that look the kind of difficulties which
We have
people
come a
face.
long way. We have
They
come a
come
long
along.
way, and I
Yeah,
think we need to continue this
correct.
effort.
From Leh side, it used to take 8 to 10 days walking to reach Chongtos, crossing Nala, then rivulets, was a nightmare. We used to cross them by lying flat on the back of ponies and leave ourselves at that.
Now,
Absolutely true,
I'll tell
sir.
you a very interesting thing which recently it came across. You know, this Shyok River, earlier alignment of DSDBO was through the river, and so it became only a fair weather road. Now, once we started going to the east of it, there's a lot of sinking of the road was taking place. So
Yes,
there is
yes,
some Italian material called geotech material and all those things called geotech cloth, which we use in the layers so that it is. Now recently, I have come to know that they have got the geo cells they call it, and they are
okay,
small pieces and they are connected, and all this sinking and all those things can be taken care of. So
okay.
therefore this road and all those things alignment has become much better. And actually, if you recall, I remember in 2010-11, I had to fight with this BRDB. There was one editor, name is also very kind of a funny, I won't name him. That chap was there, and he will find reasons why the work cannot be sanctioned.
Yes.
However, Palam Raju was very keen, and so we could push things, lot of things there. And this is where engineering has to be leveraged. And
Yes.
engineering, there are a lot of solutions these days coming. Say things like nano material has come up. So things, those are the kind of things which can be used very effectively to make roads and all is much better. So that is so there now these are those blocks which are used on the passes. And because the moment you put dozer, if it is only bitumen, it will just get washed away. So these are those say RCC blocks which are there, which we are put, and then the road can be taken off.
So I wanted to carry on with Brigadier Pankaj because he's finally finished his comments. Mercy of those ponies, very heartening to see the latest development in that area. Incidentally, my own battalion is currently deployed there. Great, sir. So that is how we gather some information, jobless engineer, because I'm going to show his next comment, which says that, sir, can you please discuss on Indo-Bangladesh border conditions? Definitely, we will do that. We had a discussion with Mr.
We had
Maheshwari,
a discussion.
but that was more to do with the internal security related issues. But uh,
There's an
we will,
article of mine which has come up
yeah,
about this
yeah.
about the border
So
issues.
so
Bharat
so
Shakti has
so
just
if we
published.
so if we get time, we will definitely have one more second round when we come. We are currently covering the globe with an Indian perspective. Let's see when we get time, we'll definitely do that. Samrat Asok has asked, is DRDO's upcoming Zorawar light tank expected to simplify logistics along the India-China border? And does the Indian Army maintain a dedicated light tank division? Look, as far as we are concerned, we have still not actually gone in for any light tank division. We are still in the process of developing a light tank, procuring a light tank, importing a light tank. There is a study going on. I think it's more or less finalized, and but suffice to say, keep it at that, and that much is good enough.
It will be
This is
useful, say in a Kailash Ridge type of operations, the Zorawar would be very useful.
the fact that it is a light tank, its weight is less, so therefore it will be easier to travel
It
on
can
these roads.
climb. It can climb
It
very easily.
can climb also. It's an obvious advantage which we have, and that is why we are going in for light tanks. I think we have the last question, which is that, oh, this is a kind of a thank you to us, sir. I compliment and privilege to listen to both the generals for their grandfatherly patience to answer our queries. And I believe General says mustache is twice the age of mine. I thank you, sir, for this. Okay, sir. I think we have had a
Thank
very
you, Vijay.
nice discussion, sir. I would annoy my secretary, sir, if we don't ask Colonel RPs. That will be the final question. Is India closing in to match China infrastructure on border areas? How much time India would like to take to have good build-up bases of air and land? It's a Delphi question. We call it as Delphi technique. बताइए कि कितना टाइम लगेगा एक सुपर टैंक डेवलप करने के लिए. Now this is something which is a very vague idea, and we have to give timeline. So we
Nothing
call
short
five.
of a decade
So
to
we
catch up
call
with
five.
China.
We call 5 6 experts and tell them, okay, you tell, and then we do a correlation and come to a mean. So it could take, sir, 5 years, it could take 10 years, it could take 15 years. We can't be very sure, but
Minimum,
definitely
say
we are
minimum,
on.
minimum a decade.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
won't, because that's why I gave the date 1951 they started. And
And
we started in true earnest only in
and
2013
and let
onwards.
me
Because
tell you.
Anthony Saab has given in parliament
Yeah,
that
let me
we are deliberately keeping that area less
let
developed.
Yeah, that was the policy earlier. That's why that question which came, that how will you protect our infrastructure if we keep
So
developing
10 years.
infrastructure? And that's fine.
RP,
Uh,
you can take it 10 years.
See,
And
infrastructure
the kind of
development.
funding.
Yeah, infrastructure development does not mean only infrastructure which you can see. It would also mean shelter. It would also mean blast pan. It also means ammunition shelter. It's got a whole lot of military infrastructure plus a dual use infrastructure plus civilian infrastructure. So it's just the beginning which we have
Like
made.
3D,
And
I said. 3D, I
yeah,
said that it just cannot be done
correct, correct. So
for
so
only
so
army purposes.
But let me tell you, we are running now. We are no more crawling. We are running, and I think that should be a very good thing for us. Sir, thank you very much, sir. We had a very nice and an interesting discussion. Hopefully, comments, and I request my viewers, our viewers, to kindly like, subscribe. We have hit a plateau now at the current subscriber level. Please increase our motivation by subscribing to us, by liking the video, and also hitting the bell icon for notification, so that next time when we post, we will you will get the notification. I would like to also tell you that generally we have thrice a week shows as far as Stride Dialogue is concerned. एक ट्यूसडे को होता है, एक थर्सडे को होता है, और एक संडे को होता है. The timing is 7 p.m. Sometimes it gets shifted up and down because of the availability of our guest speaker. Otherwise, by and large, this is the pattern which we have. Once again, with a request to like, subscribe, and press the bell icon. Thank you very much to everyone, and next till next time when we meet, goodbye and good night.